Hey everyone, it's Tanya Brewington. I am CEO and founder of Courageously Alive. And I want to talk to you for a moment about a video that I saw recently on TikTok or Facebook or whatever it is, one of the social media platforms. And it was a very interesting video because in the video was a mother and daughter. And the video was a beautiful, beautiful expression of love between the mother and the daughter. The daughter is seated, they're working out together. She's seated on a bench and she asks her mom, "Are my shoulders too big?" And her mother, who is standing behind her, says, "Oh no, you're beautiful." Then she says, "You are a stallion." And let me tell you, the way that she said that stallion, she was so proud of her daughter. And it's a beautiful, touching moment because after that, they both start lifting weights and they're doing it together. So you see this teamwork, you see this mother daughter experience, you see the love that the mother has for the daughter. Beautiful, awesome, touching. And for me, it was like, oh, this is so cool. And then I read the comments. And the comments are where you get to see the pain and the hurt from people who never had that kind of experience with their mother, never had that kind of experience with their mother. You see the hurt of people who felt like um, they wish they were yearning for a relationship like that with their mother. You see comments from people who felt like their mothers did nothing but ridicule, put them down, criticize their body, who they are, what they bring to the table. And what you're seeing in all of these comments and in the feedback is that women and even some men are really hoping for a mother who just sees them. Not just sees them, but sees them and values them for who they are, regardless of the size, regardless of whatever else it is they're doing, regardless of what the mother thinks, regardless of what she really thinks, but just to acknowledge and to value you as a person because you're her daughter. Or in some cases, for men, you're her son. And in the process, there were people who, of course, you have people who say, "I wish you were my mom because she was so encouraging." You also had people who talked about the fact that their mothers criticized everything. It didn't matter if they were thin, it didn't matter if they gained weight, it didn't matter if they were muscular, fit. Their mother found a way to criticize them regardless of what the scenario was. And what you know about this is that what you may or may not know, but one of the things that I hear when I see things like this is you're dealing with a woman who is projecting. And when I say projecting, what I mean is you have a mother who is projecting either one, insecurities, two, her own sense of um, competitiveness with you, three, her own sense, her devaluing of who she is. It's coming out and it's coming towards you. It's being directed towards you. But the reality is, this is her stuff. And unfortunately, what happens and what has happened for many of us in our lives is that we've gotten caught up in her stuff. This is the stuff that says either one, I can't let you see that you're more valuable than you are, because whatever that means to her. Two, it may be that I don't see the value in who you are because I just can't see that in another person, or I can't see that in you as my offspring, or I can't see that period. I just don't see it as an expression outside of myself. Three, it could mean that she never saw herself that way. So she certainly can't see and appreciate you being that way. And four, and I don't like to say this, but sometimes people are just mean spirited. Even if it is your mother, she could just be a mean spirited person. Either way, it's painful. Either way, it's hurtful. Either way, it lets you know that regardless of who you are, this is someone who doesn't see you, who doesn't value you, and who uses you as the object of her projections. You may be the person that she can dump on easily because you are her child. Now, in the same way that we may have certain expectations of mothers because they're our mothers, there's certain things that we think mothers may think that they can do to their children because this is my child and I get to do what I want to do with this child. And that may be what you are experiencing with your mother. And what you have to know is it's possible that that is true, but it's also possible that you can get beyond that so that whatever she says, whatever she thinks, whatever she does doesn't impact you. It has whatever she says or does, it just rolls off of you like water on a duck's back. It has nothing to do with you. Because when you begin to recognize that your mother's behaviors are hers, they belong to her, then you stop taking on and embracing what she does and what she says as something that has to do with you. She's projecting. And when you're dealing with someone who's projecting, it really doesn't matter what you do. They're always going to find a way to take whatever's inside them and project it outwards. You just happen to be in the way. You just happen to be a willing vessel or a willing, a receptive person for whatever she's projecting out. Because if you grew up with this, then you've been accustomed to taking it on. You've been accustomed to hearing it. And as young people, we don't know how to deflect. We don't know how to protect ourselves many times. And what happens as you grow up, because we have a level of respect and honor for our moms, we really don't know how to let this go. And we may continue to be the ones who take in the negative comments, the raging, the bitterness, the criticism, the ridicule, the negativity, the verbal abuse that this person is giving to us. We're just used to doing it because that's what we've always done. And what's happening is we haven't yet figured out how to disentangle ourselves from the comments that she has made in the past and may continue to make because we haven't learned how to protect ourselves. And so what I want to suggest to you is that as you're looking at this, one of the things you can do is you might find that you just have to stay away from your mother. The other thing is you might find that you don't talk about your body, or when she talks about your body, you might be able to say something in defense of who you are and in defense of your own body. You might also find that you need to find a way to have an outlet, maybe when you are around her or you need to be around her for whatever reason, that you have someone there who can kind of deflect some of the negativity that she is projecting towards you. These are not perfect. They're not perfect results or perfect examples of what to do with your mother, but they are opportunities for you to get past and get beyond the ire or the negativity that's being directed towards you. The last thing I'll say, the last thing you really have to do is to heal this. You have to be able to get to a point where your mother, her behavior, her words, her actions no longer affect you. You're not triggered. That was another comment that someone said when they saw this whole engagement with this mother-daughter. I am so triggered. I've never had that kind of relationship with my mother, and I'm so triggered. Because the desire has been to have a loving relationship with their mother. And all of us have that desire, or we did at some point. And what may have happened is you've gotten out of that whole notion that you think or you want to do this because of her behavior, and you're finally at the point where you're fed up with it. And what I will say is, beyond being fed up, get to the point where it doesn't affect you. It has nothing to do with you because she is a person, just like you are a person. Just like if you were engaged or in communication with someone else, she is another person. And when you're able to get to the point where you're able to see her woman to woman, man to woman, no longer dealing as child, mother to child, even though she's your biological parent, When you're no longer seeing her mother to child, but as adult to adult, then your relationship has a chance to actually be on more equal footing. Stay tuned. I'll share more. But this is one of the things that you want to actually be able to do, and that is to get yourself to a point where you're no longer victimized by the behaviors of your mother, and you're actually able to deal with her as an adult. And there's a whole different situation that happens when you come adult to adult. You can still respect her as your mother, but you're still acknowledging you are an adult, just like she is. And there's certain behaviors you don't tolerate. With that being said, I'm going to sign off. Subscribe to our channel if you find this interesting. Share it with other people that you know, and come back again next week, or come back again for the next video when I talk more about healing painful relationships with your mom.